Roll Tide today here at the Talladega Superspeedway for the running of the EA Sports 500 and the second race to kick off the round of 12. Points have been reset. A little bit of tempers after last Saturday night at Bristol involving a couple drivers, but everything is reset. Clean slate. 3 races. At the end of the checkered flag at Kansas in a couple weeks, we find out who will advance. This is the biggest track on the Winston Cup circuit, 2.66 miles long. She's big, she's wide, she's fast. One slip can spell disaster for Chase hopes for the remaining 12. Back in April, Bobby Labonte won this event under caution. See if he can sweep.
Welcome to today's NASCAR Winston Cup Series event, the EA Sports 500, live on MRN from the Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. And Barney, this track always manages to produce some white-knuckle moments.
Lots of different opinions about this restrictor plate racing. These drivers love the speed. It's what they live for. In fact, some think they should run with no plates at all, so the cars would be more spread out. Speed would be well over 215 miles an hour. But that doesn't seem to bother most of the drivers. It's the fact that they can't break away from each other with the plates on the cars that bother them.
This is a much-needed break for Jimmy Spencer.
I could tell by the look on his face this morning how happy he was. I didn't even have to ask. Great to see him starting up front for a change.
The 83 car will start this race with the all-important points lead.
What a great feeling that must be to have the points lead. Although you also have to think about the guys closing in behind you. One bad day at the track and you got to start climbing the ladder all over again.
John Andretti has had some bad luck the last 2 races.
He definitely needs a good finish, not just for himself, but for the team, his sponsors, and everyone else involved with that team.
See how they'll line up for the start. In the front row are the DuPont Chevrolet and the 6 car. In the second row are the Team Rusty Ford and the 48 car. Starting the race from row 3 are the Dodge dealers UAW Dodge and the Hamilton Ford. The 4th row has the Target Dodge and the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. Starting the race from row 5 will be the 16 car and the UPS Ford. In row 6 we have the Home Depot Pontiac and the Kellogg Chevrolet. Starting from row 7 will be the Racing Dodge and the Dodge dealers UAW Dodge. In the 8th row are the Square D Chevrolet and the 26 car. In the 9th row we have the Dale Jr. Chevrolet and the Citgo Ford. In the 10th row are the DeWalt Power Tools Ford and the Rubbermaid Ford. The 83 car, the NASCAR Winston Cup points leader, will begin the race from the middle of the field. In row 12 are the 4 car and the 27 car. Row 13 finds the GM Goodrich Service Plus Chevrolet and the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. The 14th row has the Valvoline Pontiac and the Pennzoil Chevrolet. In row 15 are the Singular Brown Chevrolet and the Motorcraft Ford. Starting the race from row 16 are the M&M's Pontiac and the Sprint Dodge.
That is your starting lineup for today's race. The 12 playoff drivers, if you missed last Saturday night at Bristol, that advanced. Dylan Murway, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, Tony Stewart, Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Mark Martin, Sterling Marlin, Jimmy Johnson, Rusty Wallace, and Kevin Harvick are the 12 that advanced. Jeff Gordon starting his round of 12 off right, starting on the front row next to Mark Martin. Teammate Jimmy Johnson starting in fourth. Pick your favorite drivers, see where they start this afternoon at this 2.66 mile behemoth in Alabama. Obviously, watch the Chevrolet camp. They were strong, have been strong, and pretty much won all the, or the General Motors camp, I should say, is they've won pretty much all the restrictor plate races today, this season. Pace car is off. We're underway in Talladega. Oh, Junior with a block contact already. Don't know if Junior was trying to... He didn't even see that 83 come down. Have that monster run that he did. That was almost disastrous on lap 1. Now that's basically split the field in half. So we've basically got 18 cars in the lead group coming to a tribal here to complete lap 1. Dylan Murway is going to fly under Matt Kenseth to get position like he's standing still. 2 laps complete here at Talladega so far. Looks like there is a smoker in the lead pack. We got one car blowing a motor. Looks like they're about to drop to the inside. It's going to bunch the field up big time. Burton gets hit and turned around in turn 2. And this the big wreck. Oh, wow. Caution has come out and a lot of cars involved. I think I saw the 98 of Casey Kane involved in that. So there was one car, couldn't tell who was blowing the motor, but it bottlenecked everybody. And then Dylan Murway ran into the back of Jeff Burton. 2 bad races in a row off of an elimination last Saturday at Bristol. And oh wow, Sadler went for a ride. John Andretti got involved in that too. Yeah, Sadler went bouncing around in the 21. No point pitting there. Pace car is off. Green flag back into the air after the early caution. Looks like a fast start for the top 16. Obviously, with some the contact and the damage that might be affecting the aero of the 83, even though he was a pretty excellent leader in the packs in practice on Saturday. And that one lone session on Friday. Draft is essential, which means aerodynamics is probably even more so, arguably. Compared to some of the other intermediate tracks like Charlotte next week, that's a very aero-sensitive track. It's also a speed track as well. See, the field is starting to settle down. The top 15, they have kind of organized themselves in separate packs. Bobby Hamilton trying to find a lane to go, or can't tell if he wants to go up higher, if he wants to go to the bottom. Looks like he's tucked in with Todd Bodine for now, as Dylan's got a ludicrous amount of speed in his car. He just by 3 cars as the caution comes out again for debris, I believe, off of somebody. Might have been from that wreck earlier. As we're going to race back to the caution flag. And it looks like Jeff Gordon will be leading everybody there. That was 23 of Scott Wimmer that lost all that debris off of his car. Running by himself, obviously, with all that crash damage. Not helping matters for him. Pace car is off again. Green flag back into the air. It's like the bit of a slow start again. That's the disadvantage of having messed up aerodynamics after contact. You're a lot slower up to the throttle than the rest of the pack, but it does take a few laps before everybody gets back up to speed. One of the keys to the race I forgot to mention earlier is draft. Drafting is the critical thing at Daytona and Talladega and Tiburon next year, that 3-mile super speedway out in Orlando. Basically, when two cars get hooked up, they're a lot faster than one, and especially if you're that lead car, you basically clear the track. And your goal is to just control that energy, because there's no set groove at these super speedways. If all the momentum and the energy is up high and you see that guy in the outside lane get a run, you move up and protect that lane. If the bottom lane gets a run, you go into the bottom and protect. If they gang up on you and open the middle lane, as what some people like to call the sucker hole, you're going backwards. And it looks like the top 9 have broken away by about half a second, as looks like Jeremy Mayfield and Rusty Wallace were working together. They dropped off the pack because they saw the energy was getting a little too crazy for them. Rusty Wallace, a playoff driver, he needs a good run just to get out of here without any further issues. He's going to try to tuck in behind the 83, make sure Dylan wants Rusty to work with him, but the thing is, Ford and Chevy isn't really fast because it's 2 different power plants versus 2 or 3 Chevys in a line, or 2 or 3 Fords in a line, 2 or 3 Dodges, 2 or 3 Pontiacs. In fact, if you're General Motors, I'd argue you're at a better advantage because of the fact that Chevy and Pontiac are owned by the same company. Top 9 currently being tailed by Greg Biffle in the 16. And a very quiet season for him in the rookie campaign. He is looking to make it big in 2003 for that Roush Fenway team. Racing their way through 3 and 4 again. Now it looks like Dylan Murray, he does see a Chevrolet driver in that pack. That is the 55 of Bobby Hamilton, trying to work together, so he's going to try to stay with him as much as possible. Try and struggle at that rate. Got Jeremy Mayfield with a nice run on the outside. He's trying to side draft. But you see what that 83 car is doing. He's kind of guiding the energy of the field. You know, if the top is a run, he's going to go to the top. If bottom has a runner, if he's trying to sense something, he's going to go to the bottom to try to stop the momentum, because as you saw earlier with Bobby Hamilton trying to look to the inside of the 83. Got Mayfield on the high side. Now the second pack's become very disjointed. In fact, the top two, or the bottom two in that pack, have actually broken away from the leaders. As Jimmy Spencer in the 41 on the outside of Greg Biffle there in the 16. We got more problems. Another caution's come out here. Debris on the track. Coming through turns 3 and 4. There's a piece of what looks like Casey Kane's hood, the channel lock car. The field will race back to the caution flag. And that will be that. 3 cautions in the first 16 laps today. That's just another debris caution with Casey Kane running by himself in a draft with 46 of Frank Kimmel. And the field begins their pit stops for the day. Tony Stewart and Jimmy Spencer break off. There's a little bit of contact on pit road. I couldn't see who it was. Just like a quick clean and green pit stop. Oh, a little bit of more contact there with 49. Pace car is off, and the green is back out. And this is the Jimmy Johnson is out front with Greg Biffle and teammate Jeff Gordon, the top 3. Jeff Gordon's kind of had a quiet run on the super speedways this year. Top 15 run at Daytona in February. Ended up second at the Pepsi 400. Nobody was catching the 83 that night. And obviously the only major issue was Talladega in April, the race I was ran on Monday. And you see Dylan Miller trying to side draft the 9 car Bill Elliott. Oh, contact there. Bill Elliott up the track. He gets into the wall. Dale Jarrett got into the wall as well, I think. So the top 5 with Dylan Miller getting a monster run to the inside. It's basically 2 Joe Gibbs cars, 2 Hendrick Motorsports cars, and a Lone Roush Fenway car. That's the top 5. And I saw Gordon and Stewart were kind of switching back and forth in that group. Saw Gordon would look low. Gordon got loose going into 3. He saved it. He's falling out of the pack, though. Biffle looking to the inside to take the race lead. But he's got no help on the bottom. He needs to get somebody to drop with him. Dylan all the way downstairs to try to make a pass. He's going to get 2 of them here at the line. Johnson back to the lead. Bobby Labonte, April winner on the inside. Labonte with a run on the bottom. Dylan's going to try to help another Chevrolet manufacturer driver on the outside lane. He's going to push Jimmy Johnson past the 18. As Bobby Labonte is going to probably drop back in line with Tony Stewart. So now we got a 5, maybe a 6-car group there. And it's Sterling Marlin tailing the back of that. You know, Dillon's trying to go to the inside. He's able to pass Jimmy Johnson there in the 48. Nobody's going to want to go with Dillon. Bobby Labonte's not close enough to push. He's going to use the air or the side force off the side of the 48. Tony Stewart comes up to help, so that's pretty much moot as they head back towards turn 3. Stewart tried to look to the inside but saw no hole. Now Bobby Labonte is going to be pushing the 83 now, so we got kind of a throwback to the 2-car tandem, if you will. Sort of. Very pseudo 2-car tandem. A lot of smaller packs. Got a slow car on the backstretch. Dylan Rowe is going to maybe push Tony Stewart to the lead heading into turn 1. He won the sand running of the Daytona Beach sand race back at the Daytona Tour about a month ago. That will return for next year. Dylan to the high side. He's going to drop to push Jimmy. He's going to push him past the 20 for the lead. Dylan's going to take advantage just by straight up speed, passing the 48. And it looks like Dylan's going to have the lead at the line. Nobody's going to drop to help the 20. Dylan's the new leader heading into turn 1. Tony Stewart with a push on the inside from Sterling Marlin there in the 40. So I got a 5-car blanket here for the race lead. It's a 5-pack. Tony Stewart leading. The only major Dodge help in that is the 40 of Sterling Marlin, as they are approaching a lapped car that I think is Casey Kane. Oh, Stewart checks up, and Stewart's into the wall. So now the lead group is basically disorganized now, which is basically just a couple of cars at this rate. Stewart falls out of the top 5. Greg Biffle comes back in. And that's going to cause more issues down the line. And there were 2. And I think Casey Kane might have slowed up the rest of the second pack here, as we are past halfway here in the EA Sports 500. Jimmy Johnson is your leader. Dylan Murray is in second. And is about a second off. Got about a handful of cars in that second line, in that second pack. And then just maybe 2 or 3 cars individually in the third pack, and the rest of them are basically straggling. And all of them were involved with crash damage from the incident on lap 2. Three caution flags in the first 16 laps here in the EA Sports 500. Since then, it's been pretty chaotic racing in the lead group. Some of it has led to several guys dropping out of the pack, coming back into the pack, and dropping back out of the pack again. Coming down the backstretch, looks like Jimmy Johnson got slowed up by the 46 of Frank Kimmel. Gonna fly by him. Jimmy had to check up. Dylan had to check up. So now they're gonna bring themselves back together into this pack. Johnson and Dillon top bot 2 here at Talladega. Looks like they're hooked back up, and they're going right back to speed again. And it looks like Rusty Wallace in the 2 has made his appearance in the top 5 for the first time today. So Dylan trying to look top, bottom on the leader. He's searching for air as well, because one of the downsides to drafting is the car behind gets hot really easy, and the guy, the contact off of 4, just as I was saying, and Johnson gets spun from the lead. Caution comes out. That's a playoff driver. First major playoff driver to have trouble today here at Talladega. Hopefully it's just a one-car deal. How he didn't go over there, I don't know. Oh, wow, that was a big hit. Bobby Labonte clobbered him. Labonte just, watch this. And the caution comes out here, so we're going to have probably 16 laps to go. Okay, we will have 16 to go by the time this is over. Green flag back into the air. Dylan Murway, Greg Biffle, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, the top 5. Bobby Labonte was the one that creamed into the back of Jimmy Johnson. See Casey Kane currently bunching up the lead group, going way slower than race speed. Somehow he's still on the racetrack. And it looks like Frank Kimmel's going to be doing the same. Dylan's going to drop, and they're going to try to let him bunch up. So this could be made more of a race. Coming through turns 3 and 4, keeping it about 160. Somehow the pack hasn't just disposed of the lapped cars and ran by the 83. Greg Biffle is leading the charge on the outside with a push from Rusty Wallace. Dylan drops down low to cover the 16. So I got 2 Fords and a Chevrolet here in the lead group, the late period of the EA Sports 500. Dylan Murway is led. We've already had 4 caution flags this afternoon. The last one just a few moments ago involving Jimmy Johnson and the 18 of Bobby Labonte. Bobby Labonte did sustain some damage. He is currently continuing right now. Obviously got to factor in how bad the damage was. Jimmy Johnson is retired from the race. Got about 13 to go here at Talladega. Got the lead 5 grouping back together. Sterling Marlin in the 40, Jeff Gordon in the 24. Gordon has dropped behind the 2. Try to work with him. He's got 3 lanes. Got 3 cars on the top, 2 on the bottom. And that's exactly what I was saying earlier. Dylan already going downstairs on couple cars. Now Rusty Wallace is being hung out to dry. And I think I see 3 more in the back trying to join this lead group. So now we basically have 8 in a hornet's nest. And I got Bobby Hamilton in the 55, Ricky Craven 32, and I think it's Mark Martin in the 6. As they race back through 3 and 4. Gordon to the top, Marlin in the middle. Now Dillon to the top to pick up Gordon. Down to the bottom to pick up Marlin. Going to be 11 to go at the line. Coming through turn 2. Dillon's doing a great job, but he's also doing a lot of mirror driving here with 10 to go. I don't know if that'd be a little too early for them to be doing that, but hey, when you got a spot in the round of 8 to wait on, you don't really worry about what other drivers do. You just do things your way. As Gordon gets a run on the outside, he's going to take the lead here at Talladega. And he's going to clear him too, but you can't get away too far because Dylan Murray's going to catch right up to you, along with probably the other 7 cars. That's weird. 10 to go here at Talladega. Dylan Murray trying to keep Bobby Hamilton behind with a monster block. Now Hamilton goes to the top side. And Dylan goes to pick up Hamilton. He's trying to break the draft, which I don't know why he's doing this. You want to keep the draft if you want to get help to get to the leader. You got a guy like Hamilton right there. Now Dylan drops low. He's going to have a lot of help here. Nobody's going to be working with Gordon. Never mind, everybody goes right to the top side off the corner. But that did work. As look who caught up to Jeff Gordon. And Dylan's going to try to take a look to the inside. Oh, he can't quite clear him. He can't get to him close enough to do a side graft. Nine to go. A little over a tenth of a second now. 8 to go at the line. Dylan drops low. Looks like Bobby Hamilton's trying to take advantage of that Chevrolet power and maybe work together with Dylan to get to the lead. Remember, both Andy Petrie and Murway Racing both share the same engine data, so that'd be a huge service for Richard Childress in the long run. Dylan's going to get a huge run. He's going to close. He's going to try to pull even with Jeff off the corner. Short of wrecking him, he tucks back in line again. And I think also the damage kind of did a factor to his performance as well, because he should have blown his doors off him about 4 times now. Now Dylan drops up to the 55. Contact made. And I think lap cars are going to play a factor in this. Rusty drops out of the pack. And it's going to bunch Jeff Gordon up. And he's going to drop down low. He's going to take advantage of Scott Wimmer and Casey Kane as picks. Dylan to the point here at Talladega. Now his best bet is pray for a caution flag. Now Gordon gets a run. And the top 2 leaders are up the rest of the field, so it's really just a 2-horse race. Flashlights. 6 to go, unless there is a yellow. We've ran probably the last 15 or so laps. Caution under green. Gotta wonder if fuel is really the question for a couple of these guys. Jeff Gordon's crew chief, Robbie Loomis, says he's good. The question is, Dylan Murway does not. That might be enough. He doesn't want to have a caution come out and end this thing, although it would make for a lot less chewed up fingernails in the 83 pit. Gordon at the bottom. Gordon up top. He's got Bobby Hamilton and Mark Martin with him. 4 to go. Dylan, he's going to have to start blocking big here. He almost let Gordon get away with it. He's got 3 chasers to worry about, 4 behind him. Rusty straggling in the back of this pack. Now Dylan comes up to cover. Gordon's got no help. Rusty drops out of the draft of Mark Martin to help Jeff Gordon, but Dylan has the spot. He's not letting that go. Hamilton on the high side with a huge head of steam on the top. Contact. Dylan kept the spot. Martin had to get out of gas because he almost ran into the back of the 55. 3 to go at the line. He's doing a lot of lifting because he wants to save. Save that fuel, baby, like we're in a recession. Save that gas. Gordon up top, Martin on the bottom, no help there. Might be tight for the 83 if he wants to make it all the way around. Fuel just got interesting. Dylan up top. He left it open. Contact. Mark to the inside. Martin is out of the pack. Gordon stays even with Dylan here as we come to 2 to go. Dylan trying to block. He's going to have to block and lift. Oh, he went wide. He might have a problem. He's out of the pack. He dropped down. Oh! Dylan, what was he doing there? But I think Dylan might be out of it. He can barely get a draft off the 55. Into 3 and 4. He's maxing that speed for all he's worth, man. So it's basically a 2-horse race for the win. Bobby Hamilton, who got his first career win at Talladega in that infamous caution-free race in the spring of 2001. White flag is out. Can Bobby Hamilton pull the upset? Can Jeff Gordon advance to the round of 8 with a win today? You got 2 more corners. Meanwhile, the 83 is literally running on fumes right now. Can he make it all the way around and keep all those points? Into 3 and 4. It looks like Hamilton tried taking a peek on the inside, but it wasn't going to be enough. Jeff Gordon is through to the round of 8 at Talladega. Gordon wins the EA Sports 500.
This was an exciting last lap, wasn't it?
Wow, you're right. That was an incredible finish to an even more incredible race. This NASCAR Winston Cup Series is so exciting to watch.
Thanks for joining us. For Barney Hall and the rest of us here at EA Sports and MRN, we'll see you next time.
Some highlights of the day. Tony Stewart checked up out of that draft because of Casey Kane. And then this is the issue with Jimmy Johnson. So, Jeff Gordon wins the EA Sports 500 today at Talladega. Bobby Hamilton second. Dylan Murray, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Green, Jimmy Spencer, Todd Bodine, Kevin Harvick, Johnny Benson, and Tony Stewart will round out the top 10. Great run for Jeff Green today. Great run for Kevin Harvick. So that means the first 5, Dylan Murray is the highest on points. Rusty Wallace, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, and then the final 2 spots are Ricky Rudd, Sterling Marlin. So Marlin is 8th. Jared is 2 points out, or 2 positions on the track. So he would have to pass at least 3 cars if he wants to get in. But a win also helps too. Take a look at the unofficial results. Bobby Labonte is the second guy out. Dale Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, Matt Kenseth, and wow, Dale Jr., terrible run, and Jimmy Johnson. So heading into Lowe's, we are watching Dale Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, Matt Kenseth, and Jimmy Johnson if they can advance out of the hole they're in right now. They're the 3 cars that fell out of the race, only completed 1 lap. Terry Labonte was the one that blew a motor. Jeff Burton and Elliott Sadler were the 2 of many that were caught in that early accident. So again, Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson are in panic mode right now heading into Charlotte. Dale Jarrett and Bobby Labonte need good runs. Labonte especially. He could get by with a good run, but in this chase format, wins are absolutely everything. Fuck, my throat is dry. Coked up on So here are your weekly awards. So can see them flash on the screen. The weekly award: Jeff Gordon won the pole and led the most laps. Jeff Green passed the most cars. Shane Hall had the best lap. Dylan Murray was the best rookie. And Jeff Gordon made the best pass. So Chevrolet is pretty much dominated, especially during the summer stretch, thanks to Dylan Murray and Jeff Gordon. And same with the EA Sports Lap Champion list as well. Next Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern, we're at Lowe's. Have a great day.